Today, if I go back to appear for IIM interviews again in 2019, I would be 100% sure that I will crack the interviews. And this is not because now that I have more knowledge or maybe more confidence or anything of that sort. It's just because I've interacted with my batchmates, I've interacted with professors at IIM Ahmedabad, and I know one thing that was very difficult to understand as an aspirant, and that is you do not need to be extraordinary to crack IIM interviews. You just need to be a decent candidate. Hi everyone, if you are new here, a brief introduction for you. I graduated from IIM Ahmedabad in 2021 and in CAT 18 I had scored 99.91 percentile, after which I had calls from all major B schools except IIM Bangalore, and I happened to convert all the interview calls. And in this video, we are going to uncover some of the myths around these IIM interviews, and I hope anyone who is going to appear for these MBA interviews feels very confident after watching this particular video. Also, I have shared a couple of my interview experiences. I will drop the link in the description. You can watch this after this video. So let us first understand, why have you set such unhealthy benchmarks for cracking IIM interviews? That is because of the references that you have, the kind of experiences that have been shared on social media, especially on Quora when people write those IIM interview experiences. Most people know about these IIM interviews from Quora itself, from reading those answers. But let me tell you one thing, those questions or whatever happened in the interview room, only the candidate knows. Those answers had been written after the interview. So the questions might have been similar, but the kind of answers that have been written on Quora might have been very different from what had happened in the actual interview. And out of the 1 lakh or 2 lakh interviews that have happened, only 50 or 100 experiences are shared on Quora, which means you might see only the most perfect interviews appearing on those social media sites. So that's the highest benchmark that you can set for yourself. Let me tell you, most of the interviews go average. After almost every interview, I used to think that, oh, this answer I could have answered this particular way. In this particular question, if I had answered this way, it would have been much better. And most of the candidates, even you would feel the same way, and most of the candidates who crack the IIM interviews as well feel the same about their interviews after each and every interview. During my IIM Ahmedabad days, I happened to have a conversation with one of the professors, and I asked him what exactly does he look for in a candidate while selecting him. And his reply was, I only look for one particular thing, if I will enjoy teaching that particular person in the classroom or not. And that's such a powerful answer. First thing it covers is that candidate should have the mental aptitude to grasp the concepts that the professor is teaching. And if that is covered, second is that person should have the learning attitude or that growth attitude to learn from what is being taught in the classroom. He said that there were so many 100 percentilers, 99.9 percentilers that he had seen over the years with great confidence, great background, great knowledge, have so much of work experience as well. But one thing that they lacked was humility. And they come with that know-it-all attitude, and they could not show in the interview that if they are selected, they will continue that learning path or not. If they are not able to continue their learning path, and if they cannot forget some of the biases that they have developed probably in their career, then it will become difficult for them. There will be many candidates in the classroom with whom they will be discussing. There will be freshers as well who would not have enough experience as that person might have. But that person should be open to learn from everyone around. Otherwise, it will get very difficult to survive in a B school. In short, what you need to show in the interview is you have the survival skills. There will be long hours happening in the B school, so you need to show that you're hardworking, have the survival skills, the mental aptitude as well to understand what is being taught in the classroom. And the first 2 points are kind of already covered because you have got that CAT percentile for which you had to put that amount of effort, and you also had to have that mental aptitude to get that percentile. So these two things are kind of covered through the exam, but more importantly, now what the interviewer would want to know is that learning attitude, growth attitude, that you will come to a B school and learn new things and continue learning, continue your learning journey as well. Back to our main point, that you do not need to be extraordinary to crack these IIM interviews, and let us uncover one of the myths over here that I have seen a lot of institutes as well teaching, that you need to create an impression in the interview such that the interviewer remembers you even after you leave the room. Just one reality check here, they are interviewing thousands of candidates, and out of that they will score you just after your interview gets over and probably not even remember you the next day. They do not care what happens to you, like whether they have accepted you, whether they have rejected you. Only after you make it to the B school they will know that, okay, I had selected this person. and it's the reality. You do not need to really create that kind of an impression that the interview has to remember you all through. You just need to perform decent enough that he scores you very decently. Because of this, what a lot of candidates do is, for those standard answers, those tell me about yourself YMB answers, they write a very flamboyant answer, and some of the institute also like motivates them to write that kind of an answer because it will create that kind of an impression. But that is so foolish, because you can create a probably a fake an answer for 2-3 minutes, but your interview will go on for 30-40 minutes, which means your real personality will come out during the interview. And if you really fake a particular answer for those 2-3 minutes, that will further impact your interview negatively and make you look really foolish. That kind of happened with me as well when I was preparing for my MBA interviews. A lot of coaching institutions asked me to write a very flamboyant tell me about yourself answer, something like born in this kind of a family, I aspire to be this and achieve this, that has led to this and so on, which I realize does not suit my personality and does not suit my strength. And obviously, if you have that kind of extrovertism, or if you have that kind of a flamboyant attitude and you can carry it throughout the interview, then only go for it. Otherwise, I realize my strength lies in humility. My strength lies in structured communication. My strength lies in the substance that I can provide, and my strength lies in presence of mind. If you see my IIM Ahmedabad interview, I believe I cracked that interview just because of that one particular answer, and that required presence of mind, and I could not have prepared it in any other way or could have answered it in any other way. I could not have answered it if I was trying to be a different kind of a person. I just answered it very simply. I just answered it with my strengths, and that is all you need to crack these interviews. Especially if you make it to these IIM institutions, you will realize that most of the people over there do not have those extraordinary skills. They do not necessarily have great oratory skills, but definitely very good communication skills. You should be able to convey the kind of information that you want the listener to understand. But most of the people in IIMs definitely would be very hardworking, would have a lot of clarity in their thoughts, would have very structured approach in their mind, and that is all you need. So in short, do not try to fake your personality in the interviews. Try to stick to your original self. You have to remain the same for 30-40 minutes, and it is not possible to fake it for such a long time. And for all of these standard answers, do not ask someone else to write the answer for you. Definitely take assistance from people who have the experience in writing those answers, but try to reflect your own story over there and your own personality in those answers. And take the interview as a normal conversation between individuals, which will give you a lot of confidence. If you know the answer, then say it. If you do not know the answer, clearly call it out that I don't know this. The interviewer will give you enough opportunities to prove yourself. And remember, even if you answer 70% of all the questions asked in an interview, you have done better than an average candidate. You will always have that regret after an interview that I could have answered this, I could have answered that. But everyone has that regret. If you are able to answer 70% of the question, feel very happy about it. So I hope this will give you a lot of confidence to go ahead and prepare for these interviews.